All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're stepping into the lyrical war zone that is the Demon Time Battle League. We're going to deconstruct their Terrifier Christmas event to really get under the hood of the art behind all that aggression.
It's cold in this world, yeah. You're going to hear this line a lot. And look, it's not just some catchy phrase, it's their entire mission statement. It's a warning shot, telling you that what you're about to witness isn't just a game. It's a reflection of a brutal reality where only the strong survive.
So how are we going to make sense of all this organized chaos? Well, here's the game plan. First, we'll get the lay of the land, what this league is all about. Then we'll dissect the insults themselves, explore the personas these rappers build, decode their complex lyrical weapons, and finally, we'll grapple with the big one. Where does performance stop and real provocation begin?
Okay, Section 1, welcome to Demon Time. Before we get into the battles, we need to understand the arena.
So for anyone new here, what is battle rap, really? Think of it like a verbal boxing match. It's an art form where two people go head-to-head, trading insults, clever wordplay, and boasts. Your fists are your creativity and your wit, and the goal is to verbally dismantle your opponent.
Now, Demon Time really sets itself apart with its whole red pill philosophy, and yeah, that is a direct nod to The Matrix. The whole concept is that they are giving you the raw, unfiltered truth. They're rejecting what they see as a fake, sugar-coated reality, positioning themselves as the most authentic, no-holds-barred league in the game.
On to Section 2, the art of the insult. Now we get to the ammunition, the primary weapon in any battle rapper's arsenal.
Sometimes the simplest attack is the most effective. It's just a straight shot to the ego. Here, Dement goes right after his opponent's appearance, creating this bizarre, unforgettable image. I mean, Nike's in a football helmet? It's not meant to be clever, it's just pure, visceral disrespect.
But then, you've got the total opposite. Insults that are cold, sharp, and calculated. Too complex attacks his opponent's professional record. But the genius here is that line, "That's not slander, that's pattern recognition." Wow. He reframes the insult as an undeniable, data-driven fact. He's saying, I'm not being mean, I'm just a scientist observing a pattern of failure.
And by just throwing that number up there, 7 losses, it becomes more than just a fact. It's a weapon. It's a cold, hard number that just hangs in the air, a public record of defeat. Brutal.
So we've gone from data-driven attacks to the other extreme, the direct physical threat. There's no metaphor here, no clever wordplay. ADIRT is painting a brutally clear and violent picture. This is all about raw intimidation. So, we've seen the weapons. Now let's look at the warriors. Section 3, building the persona. In battle rap, who you are is just as important as what you say.
And right away, you can see these two totally distinct identities. You have 2 Complex, who's the calculated analyst. His style is built on patterns, preparation, structure. And then you've got A Dirty, the pure aggressor, who's all about raw violence and street cred. It's like brains versus brute force.
And then some rappers, they build their entire identity around a single idea. Take Da Hater. I mean, it's right there in the name. He literally embodies it. By framing it as a necessary part of the game, he turns a negative trait into this powerful, self-aware persona. He's not just a hater, he's the hater, and he completely owns it.
All right, Section 4, let's get into the mechanics of it all. Time for decoding the lyrical weapons. We're going to break down the incredible craftsmanship that goes into building these attacks.
Just listen to this line from Rhyme Clumps. On the surface, it's a simple threat, but the absolute genius is in the imagery, right? Connecting the cylinder of a revolver to the mundane shape of a Pringles can. It's completely unexpected, it's clever, and it's deeply unsettling.
So let's actually break that down. How does a line like that work? The setup is something totally normal, a Pringle snack. Then comes the pivot word, cylinder, which your brain can read in 2 totally different ways. And that leads to the punchline, where your brain makes that sudden, violent connection. It's a masterclass in lyrical misdirection.
And here's another incredible one. Day Hater gives us this multi-layered masterpiece. Drew Barrymore. Sounds like he drew a weapon. It's also a direct pop culture reference to Drew Barrymore's famous death scene in Scream. And for any sports fans listening, there might even be a little hint of Drew Bledsoe, the quarterback. It's just incredibly dense word.
This just goes to show you the sheer breadth of knowledge these rappers are pulling from. We're talking puns, pop culture, American history, technical MMA terminology, even high-fashion brands. To compete at this level, your mind has to be a library of just everything.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most complex section, performance or provocation.
We've seen the art, we've seen the aggression, so where does one end and the other begin?
From the rapper's perspective, this is absolutely a sport. They call themselves the Punchline King, like it's a championship title. They operate under this code of hate the game, not the player, which basically frames the whole thing as a performance with rules and even sportsmanship.
But then, a line like this from A.D. Iyer comes along and just shatters that illusion of sport. The use of a homophobic slur, it fundamentally changes the tone. It goes beyond creative insults about skill and into the realm of real-world bigotry. This isn't just hating the game. This feels like a direct, personal attack that completely blurs the line between performance and genuine hate.
And that's really the central tension of battle rap, isn't it? In an art form built on the performance of aggression, how do you distinguish between a character playing a role and a person making a real threat? Where do you draw that line between literal art and literal danger? And honestly, the answer is far from simple.